Hey, this is Bree with Cosmic Siren. Welcome to the Siren Pod, a safe space for quirky and curious souls who wish to connect more deeply with others, themselves, and the world around them, and who believe in magic. I know everyone is unique and has their own special path. My goal is to help you trust your inner voice and live life to the tune of your soul. In this episode, Solo Living, what experiences have you missed out on? I wanted to explore this idea of solo living, which is a play on solo leveling. If you haven't read or watched it, you definitely should. It's pretty good. I wanted to talk about my experience naturally being a homebody. I love being at home. I love being in the comfort of my own home. I like being cozy. I like all those indoor activities, snuggling up with a blanket. I watch a lot of, shows, movies, anime, listening to music, doing creative things, just being in my own environment. And I realized since moving to a new city that I couldn't really be that person anymore. At home, I had stable friendships. I had a partner. I had my family. And it was okay if I wanted to be at home and comfortable because I could just do that with my friends. And, I could go out when I want, but it didn't really affect me that much being a homebody. But since moving to a new city and not having those connections, I realized I can be at home while I want and comfortable, but I'm not going to meet people in my apartment. I'm not going to meet people that way. And I had to and push myself to go to places alone and do hobbies and activities alone so I could feel comfortable and confident. And also, that's where I can make those connections, right? That's where you would meet people when you don't have the connections that you want or you're looking for more friends. You want to go out and do the hobbies that you genuinely enjoy so that you can meet other people that enjoy the same thing. And that way you can connect on hobbies and groups if you haven't already established a connection with them from work or school, in the past. And reflecting back on this in my past before I even moved here and now, I realized I missed out on a lot of things because I wanted someone to be with me, right? I always just delayed my plans and said, oh, I'll just wait till my friend can go. Or if they ended up canceling or not following through, I would just, not go to it. For example, I really wanted to see Dune 2, and I had a friend that wanted to go and they were supposed to get tickets, but we kept going back and forth with our schedules. And then it ended up being too late, not happening. The movie was out of theaters and I regretted it, right? And a part of me was like, well, why did I do that? I could have just saw it myself. And I'm comfortable at the movie theater, so that wasn't the issue. It was just, oh, I won't do it because I'll wait for a friend. But why wait, right? It's like, on Solo Leveling, the webtoon, now they made an anime. It's like this person clears these dungeons by themselves. Like at first, that's just because, well, one, they didn't have anyone, and two, their new life is a little interesting and out of the ordinary. So it was kind of like a secret thing. But also it's this idea of like, this person had to do it on their own. They had to go out. They had to start from the bottom. They had to gain the confidence. They had to go out there. And yeah, it was a little scary at first, but they gained the confidence, they got stronger, and then they were able to do it. And they did it by themselves. And, along the way, they, of course, naturally make connections and people want to follow them. And, it's the same idea. It's like in life, right? Like, not that you should live alone forever or be alone forever, but it is this idea of creating the life that you want for yourself, like on your own. It's like without connections here, I realize, I should be doing what I want to do just naturally. I can go to the movies when I want to see a movie, right? If there's a concert I want to go to, I should be able to go to a concert. I can go out and eat at restaurants, right? If I want to try a restaurant alone. It's just all these things. I should be able to do this alone because that's what's going to make me happy, right? If I don't do something because someone's not with me and I miss out, like, what's the point? It's important to enjoy the hobbies that you have. I mean, if you're able to do it alone, some hobbies require other people if it's like a community sport or something. But, it's important that you enjoy the hobbies that you love alone and enjoy being in your own energy and being happy like that, right? It's a vibration thing. You want to make sure that you're really happy and secure living your life on your own, by yourself, in your own energy. That way, when you do make connections, when people do come along, you can experience life with them. You can experience your hobbies with them. And then you have something to compare it to, right? Like, you know what it's like to be in your own energy. You get used to your own energy. You feel comfortable and safe in your own energy. When you start making connections and you start interacting, with who they are and their energy and, what they bring, it can help support a decision, right? It's like if you're in this energy of maybe desperation of, wanting to go somewhere with someone and you end up having an unpleasant experience, for whatever reason. It could be energy, negative thoughts, anything, but you have nothing to compare it to, right? And sometimes you might just think like, well, this is better than alone, but how would you know? If you're really secure, if you really love, like, for example, going to a concert and you're just so happy and having a good time, like, now you know that when you make connections, it should feel just as fun as it is alone, as it is with them, or maybe even more. Sometimes company does elevate the experience. Because I missed Dune 2, which I was so mad about, I bring this up because the story of my life that's relevant is what happened is I made a new friend, right? And, since I'd been here. And, their energy is a little inconsistent. Just honestly, it's kind of hot and cold. And so sometimes they don't follow through with plans, like half the time. And, it's Ghibli Fest now. And Princess Mononoke was coming out. And I mean, that's my favorite. And I had never seen it in theaters. I don't know why. I always miss the Ghibli Fest somehow. And I really wanted to see it in theaters because I want to see it on the big screen. And this person said they wanted to see it too. And so we planned this in advance, like a month or something. And so I followed up with them like, I don't know, 2 weeks before, something like that. And I asked if they still wanted to see the movie, and they said yes. And I was asking, what days they were free, because it's only available like for 5 days, like certain dates. And, they gave their typical response that they do half the time, which is like, oh, it's better to decide next week, whatever that means, right? And in that moment, I was, I said, okay. And after a few days, I was like, wait, I don't want this to happen again. I already missed Dune 2. I'm missing these other things. I am not waiting for this person. I have to see this movie. And, and I trusted myself, right? I trusted my intuition. I had a very strong feeling this person would not follow up. And so I thought to myself, like, why are you going to wait around for this person? If they end up not following up, who are you to be mad at? Only yourself, right? You had a choice. And so I bought the ticket for myself. I was like, I'll just buy my own ticket and I'm going to go regardless, right? I don't need to wait for this person because, who knows? Maybe they can't go. Maybe it's busy schedules. Maybe they decide, whatever reason, they have other priorities. And so when it came down to it, that week that it was available, they never followed up. And, I don't chase anyone for their time. If I offer and it's on them, right? If they say they wanted to follow up and they don't, then it is fine. And so I was excited. I was like, oh, I'm about to see my favorite movie. I'm going to do this. And so, I mean, I knew I'd be fine. I actually had never seen a movie alone before in the theater because I happened to always have a friend that wanted to see this stuff. And so I was actually really excited because movie theaters to me are really cozy, right? It's the experience. I get the reclining chairs, all that. So I went to a theater. I got to travel into the city and it was fun. On my walk, I use my AirPods. And this is a little trick for people that maybe don't like to go out and about, or maybe they don't like to go outside their house because, they can't control the energy that's around them. They can't control their environment. Use AirPods. Like, I always use my AirPods. I always have AirPods in. And I wonder if some people think about this. Like, why do people always have headphones or AirPods? For me, it's like a protection thing. I'm in my own little bubble. It's my energy of protection. I control the music. I control the vibe of my experience. And so it's really helpful. And so, I put on some good music, or I wanted it to be like kind of fantastical, like, fantasy vibes. So I try to find like some fairy woodland forest as I was taking a walk. And it was really nice, right? So just pick the theme, pick the music while you're walking around. And I went to the movie. I saw this movie. It was great. It was great in theater. I was so excited. Obviously subtitled. I do not watch dubbed anime. But yes, it was so good. There was not that many people in the theater, maybe less than 10. But it was such a great environment. Everyone was quiet. It was such a great experience. And then I went home and it was great. I got food. I don't know. It was one of like the best days that I had. And then later, last minute, with a different friend, I went to this theater in the park, and that was really cool. So actually, that was like one of my favorite days. And that wouldn't have happened if I waited, right? If I waited around for this person or if I never bought my ticket. And not saying that it couldn't have been a great experience if I had maybe followed up again with my friend and they ended up coming, but I wouldn't have had that to myself. I wouldn't have gained that little boost of like, look, this is enjoyable. This is fun. And now I'm like, I want to see movies alone all the time. Right. And now I know what it's like to be at the movies in my own energy. Like usually the people that I watch movies with, they have good energies, right? They're quiet. They don't talk all the time. They're not getting up to the bathroom every 20 minutes or something. But, it was just nice. And it just gave me a little bit more confidence. Like, look, you can do the things that you want. Now, that was more easy for me. That's an easy level. So, start with something small. If that's easy level for you, go see a movie. Maybe go to the park and sit down. Like, I go to the park and you can bring a blanket. You can sit down and, you can just be in your own energy. You can bring a book. You can just stare out and about, walk around. It's just nice to experience life in your own energy by yourself so that you can connect with it, right? You can trust it. And it's about self-love again. It's like building that self-love so you can be comfortable on your own so that you're not trying to look for connection in a desperate way like with others. Because once you're like really secure and connected to your own energy, you won't accept anything less, right? You don't want to accept other people's energies that you don't enjoy being in as much as your own, because then it would be draining. And it happened again, right? The same friend, they sent me this like, I'll call it like a dance music kind of event where you dress up. And I really wanted to go. This one was really fun. And I told them that. And I bought my ticket. And of course, again, they end up not going, which is fine. I knew ahead of time at least. But this one I was nervous for because I had never gone to that type of event alone before, right? It is a little bit different. If you're going to an event at night, there are some fears. And I wanted to discuss the fears I was having just so it can help push you to get past that. So this event would be at night, right? It starts at 10 p.m., but it ends at 4 a.m. I knew that, I'd be showing up maybe around midnight because I had plans beforehand to see a different movie. And that scared me. What if I'm not safe? What if I meet a strange person and I don't make a good decision because I'm altered or something? What do I do? I don't want to take, transit or subway because it might not be safe. And all these fears started flowing into my head, right? Anything that would prevent me from not going to this event. And I'd make excuses in my head like, okay, because of this, I can't go. I'll just wait for the next one, or I'll only go to things in the daytime. Like there's certain things, right? And so I picked those apart. If I didn't feel safe using transit, then I would take an Uber. For me, it was fine. That's something I could do. It's not expensive for me. It was okay. So that was an easy hurdle, right, to get over, just writing it down and thinking that through. The other one was, well, what if I don't trust other people? What if someone like, I don't know, comes, talks to me, tries to do something? And I'm like, well, then I'll be completely sober. I'm going to be alone at a new venue, a dance music party thing, club. So be sober. Then I know that I will trust myself every second of the way. And so I gave myself those two rules. Just be sober and take an Uber. And I'm like, well, great. So that's it. Like, yeah, I was a little nervous going to something like that alone, but if I had those two steps in place, I knew that I'd feel safe. So when it came to that day after I saw the movie, it was the Deadpool and Wolverine movie, by the way, which was really good. But after I saw the movie, I went home and I started getting a little nervous, right? I was like, wait, should I really go? I don't know if I can do this. The fear starts creeping in, which is fine, right? It's a new experience, right? Fear will come when we do something new, something different. And that's okay, right? The fear of the unknown, it's a natural feeling, but we still have to push forward, right? And so I took it one step at a time. I really was contemplating not going, but I took one step at a time. I was like, it's late, it's 11:30, midnight. What's the next step? What's the first step I can do? Okay, let's put some music on just to get myself, in the vibe. So, I put some music on from the movie, to feel the music. It was that Avril Lavigne song that they played, I'm With You. That was a great throwback song. Anyway, so I played the music and then I said, okay, next step, just get changed, play the music, see what happens. So I get dressed, I'm singing, I'm dancing. Then I'm feeling like really good, right? Like the place that I'm going to, I wanted to go because of dancing. I love dancing. I just love dancing around and I really wanted to go and dance to music. And so here I am, I'm all dressed up, I'm themed for the event. I'm dancing around, I'm singing. So I'm getting myself hyped. Like I'm feeling really good now. I'm like, I can do this. It's just, you just take one step at a time. I'm already dressed. I'm already ready to go. I'm like, what's the next step? Pack my bag real quick. Just little one step at a time and just focus. Like, okay, just get dressed. Don't think about anything else. So I did. Dance, music, got dressed, packed my bag. And then literally there was nothing left to do but order the Uber and leave. And once I got myself prepared and I was already hyped up, I mean, I have to move forward, right? There was nothing else stopping me. And I did. I went by myself, and I had fun. The level of confidence that I got from that experience, that night shifted things for me. It's me just being able to hype myself up and get myself to push past, that fear and go and have a good time and get to connect with people there and just have fun doing something that I wanted to go to because I wanted to. And that shift changed things. I felt a level of confidence and certainty that, I really can do anything that I want to do. I can go anywhere I want to go. If I want to go travel, I'll go travel by myself. I want to go to Japan. I'm probably going to go by myself. There's just so many things in the world that I want to do. And now I'm sure, I can. Of course, if there's people that want to go, they can. But it's nothing's going to stop me anymore, right? It's I feel like a pattern for me in my life is I've delayed a lot of things in my life because I was always waiting for someone, right? Because someone said they wanted to go. Someone said they wanted to come with. Or I wanted someone to be with me, right? I needed a buddy. I don't know if I could do it alone. But it started with the move here, right? I wanted to do travel nursing years ago, but I didn't, right? Because I thought I needed a buddy. And then something happened in the last couple of years where I was just like, no, I'm going to go. So I did. I travel nursed here. And then I just moved here alone. And now I'm doing things, going out and about, not being a homebody and just going to activities and doing it alone because I have to. I have to live my life. The message is to live your life, solo living. You don't have to do it with other people. Yes, it's so important to connect with other people. I feel like life really is all about connection, connecting with others, feeling seen, feeling heard, and supporting each other. Those are all amazing things. Also, though, there is this importance of living your life, finding your hobbies, finding your own routines, and really being happy in it. That way, when you do make connections, you can invite them into your own world, right? You can show them the things that you enjoy doing, and you already have this level of confidence doing them by yourself, and then you can show them that. And maybe you've added activities for them. And then other people, whoever you connect with, can show you their world, right? There's going to be some overlap with hobbies or interests, probably. But also there's going to be so many new things and experiences that you may never have thought of before that you get to experience with these other people. And then same thing for them. Your routines and the things that you like to do, maybe they had never even thought about. And it's important that we go out and find them, right? And share these experiences. For example, one of my friends recently told me that they do music festivals in this park nearby. And I had no idea. I was like, wait, how'd you even know that? Where do I even find this? I always ask people, I'm like, where do I look up how to find things? And some people are like, oh, go on Instagram. Oh, go do this. I don't know, all these things. And some people are like, oh, just word of mouth. They just heard about it from this person. And so that's what I mean. It's we have to go out and about and do the things we want, do the hobbies that we like, and then we can share it with other people, right? It's all about sharing experiences. You never know, what experience could shift something for someone. Also, I found that the times that I've gone alone to functions or events, maybe a friend canceled, last minute or that day, or they just couldn't go, I found that I've made some really nice connections when I went alone because I think I mentioned this before. If my friend or multiple friends were there, my attention would have been on them, right? I wouldn't maybe have been as open to going out and connecting with other people. Like, yeah, I'm always open to connecting, but, my time would have been spent with them, furthering that connection. And so when I've gone alone, it forces you to kind of interact with people you don't know, say hi and just connect with other people that are also maybe alone or in groups. And it's just nice. I don't know. Whenever I see someone like out in activity, like even if I'm with a friend, even when I see someone out alone in activity, I always admire them. Like, wow, they're here, they're living their life. I like that. Like, I don't know. It always like puts a smile on my face. I'm like, yes. I'm like, nothing's stopping you, right? And now I can be one of those people. I don't know. I always felt like everything that I want and everything that I need is here inside of my apartment, right? Whatever, my house, my space. And it's true, I could be at home a long time, right? But there's also, though, going out and exploring, it's like different, right? There's a difference between, the energy of being an introvert and extrovert, right? And then the energy of being a homebody and someone that likes to explore, right? And maybe later I'll talk about the difference between introvert and extrovert in more detail, but it's not about being social. I think people think that. It's more about energy. It's someone who's an introvert, they are more energized in smaller, intimate spaces, and maybe need more alone time to recharge. It's not about socialness at all. And, bigger places, environments with a lot of energies, loud spaces, it can drain them, right? But you can be a very social introvert. And an extrovert is really energized connecting and being with a lot of people, right? And they like those loud spaces and environments. It literally does support and energize them. And if they don't connect, for however long, it could be a day or two or three, they can get really drained and down. And, there's lines, right? There's a difference between being secure in yourself, being able to be on your own, things like that. But, those are the differences. And then there's people that like being at home, like homebodies. And then I don't know what you call people that like being outside of the home. I'll just call them explorers or adventurers. I don't know. But someone who's a homebody, like I said, like they like being in the comforts of their own home for whatever reason. Like it could be safety, protection, but it's also in control of their environment. And so you can be a homebody introvert like me, who, I like my intimate, quiet spaces. I'm at home. This is fun and cozy. But you can also be an extroverted introvert. And those are the people that throw house parties. You can't find me throwing a house party. That is not going to happen. But extroverted homebodies, like they'll bring the people to them. Like they'll come over all the time. They'll have their houses open. Like people will come over. They might have gatherings, get-togethers, all those types of things. Because, they still want to interact with a lot of people, right? And then you have introverts that like exploring. And I'm thinking maybe I never gave myself a chance because I do like exploring. I like seeing the outside. There's a lot of cool like spaces, like whether that's like lounges or coffee shops or just like interesting buildings or just like fun like little events you don't know about, like sidewalk streets. And those are people that can explore alone. Like those I told you, like just put your AirPods in, like the introverts that like to explore like alone, right? Or like in a small group or one person. It's they get drained by those loud environments, a lot of energy. So that's why I said put the bubble in. Just put the AirPods in. You can control the energy. You can go to quieter spaces and, check those out first and explore, walk around different streets and neighborhoods. You don't have to go to like loud, like raves or concerts or something if that's going to bother you. And then there's, extroverted adventurers or whatever, they're out and about going to all the concerts and raves and bars and events and talking to a million people. So, there's different energies, right? And everything in between, right? But you can have both, right? Everyone needs a certain amount of alone time to recharge, of course, some more than others. And, everyone, is supported by some level of connection, some more than others. And we all feel a certain amount of safety in our home environments and while outside. And it's okay, we don't have to change to be something we're not. We don't need to force ourselves to be something we're not. But I do appreciate, what the home environment can do for you, but also what the outside environment can do for you. And, connection. So I've been pushing myself to go out more and try new things or explore, right? Like find things for myself. I say I'm lazy and I can't find anything, but I didn't really look. So I've been pushing myself to do that more because I do like exploring, right? And then I'll know what I want to go to, right? I want to find routines. I want to be able to like, I don't know, go to the movie every other week and go to some music thing once a month. There's like certain things and I have to be able to explore so I can find the spaces that I want. At the end of it all, it's just, I feel really important just to be very secure and happy in your own energy. And I feel like that's why I'm not in a rush or kind of desperate to make a lot of connections. Like, yes, my goal is to, find my soul family, right? Build up my friendships and build that community, right? And that takes time. And, I recently realized I am building that, right? It takes time, but I'm building that since I came here from knowing nobody till now. Like, there's a lot of friendships that I'm forming and building and that I'm really thankful for. And also, I'm also like building my life for myself, the type of life that I want to live. And I want to be able to like form my own routines and figure out the type of lifestyle that I want to live and then be able to share that with other people. But I have to be able to do that alone first or explore a little bit. Let's take some messages from the cards just to close out. All right, so we got the Two of Cups reverse, King of Cups, we got the 10 of Cups reverse, and we got the Devil. Okay. Yeah, I feel, the Two of Cups reverse, it's all about that self-love. Usually Two of Cups in the upright is talking about, union. This could be partnership. This could be a really like huge soul connection, with another person, but it can also be with yourself. Like in the reverse, I am getting that. It's self-love, like coming to yourself, like accepting all sides of yourself and really loving yourself to your core. I told you, it's this energy again of being able to be comfortable and confident with your choices. And it's really boosting your self-love and confidence in yourself because you deserve to live the life that you want, right? You shouldn't miss out on anything because you're waiting for someone. It doesn't even matter if they say, wait for me. Like, oh, I promise, like, wait for me a few weeks. No, like, you don't need to wait. Just go and do it. You can do another experience with them or do it again, right? You can always rewatch something or go to an event again if you really wanted to with somebody else, but there's no point in delaying. And the King of Cups energy, mastering your emotions. And I think that also goes down to, being really, really secure in your emotions without the effect of those around you, right? The King of Cups it's that masculine energy of the cups, right? For the Queen, the feminine energy of the cups, it's being really integrated in your environment. You're being supported by the energies around you. You're connecting with the energies around you and you're making decisions, with the energies around you for yourself and others. But the King of Cups is very secure in themselves. They're not taking any input from anyone else. Like, they have mastered their emotions. They're connected with their self. Like, they understand how they think and feel, and they're not having really any input from anyone else. Like, they're not exactly closed-minded, but, they're just very secure. And it just goes back to what I was saying is, be your own dragon. Like, follow your intuitive nudges, go where you want to go, live the life that you want to live, and be really secure in that energy because that's going to put you in a certain vibration, right? A certain frequency. You want to be in that frequency because that's the type of people you want to connect with, right? When you go and make your connections in the world, new friends, partners, lovers, dynamics, it's like you want to be able to meet people that have built a life for themselves, right? When you go visit them in their home or you go hang out with them and you hear about what they do, in their downtime or, when they're alone or when they're out, it's like there's a really strong and attractive, admirable quality about someone who like literally just lives their life. They have their routines at home. They know, like, they take care of their bodies. They know what makes them happy. They have, fun things that they can do, like games or books at home, like hobbies that they can do in their free time. When you ask them what they did over the weekend or, over the last few weeks, they can tell you about some fun experiences that they went to. Not that they have to, right? They could stay home, but, it's like they are aware of their community, right? They visit the local shops. They know about a few restaurants, like someone that's really intentional with their time. And that's something I'm trying to be better at, all right? I never remember the shops I go to or the restaurants, and I have to write it down in my phone in like a notes tab. I don't know if anyone else has like a million notes tabs in their phone, but I do. And I want to be more integrated in my environment, my community. I want to, if some friend is in my neighborhood, I want to be able to tell them like, oh, these are like the cool places to go to. These are like the yummy places I've been to that you might like, you know? It's like, it's kind of like hosting, right? And I find that in my previous relationships and currently, it's like a lot of people prefer people to come to them, right? And I like doing that, right? I like going to people's places. They seem to like that better. But also, so I'm not used to hosting because I'm always going over there, right? I'm always going to someone else, you know, per their request. But I want to host too, right? I want to be able to know my neighborhood well. I want to be able to invite people over and give them a fun experience, right? Like my own experience. It's like my signature color, my signature flavor, right? And we have the Ten of Cups and the Devil reverse. You know, the Ten of Cups in reverse, it just, honestly, it's literally what I was saying. You know, the Ten of Cups is that peak emotional fulfillment, right? You are so, this is like high vibration energy again. You are so high vibration, high frequency. You've built this life for yourself. You feel so extremely thankful for, so happy for, like emotional bliss. And that's what it is. It's like combined with the Two of Cups, the self-love, and the King of Cups, you know, emotional mastery on your own, the Ten of Cups. I mean, it's just everything that I was saying about, you know, you want to be able to solo live your life and create those routines and experiences for yourself so that you feel so incredibly secure and happy within yourself. You're like, I love my life, right? There's a difference in energies between saying, I feel so lonely, I need someone here, I want to go find people. There's a difference between that and, hey, I really love my life and I want to share it with others. I want to share this with somebody, right? There is a difference in those energies and frequencies. And this is what this card is saying, the Ten of Cups. It's like I said, you don't have to go through things alone. It's important for us to make connections, but you should be living your life and doing things alone for yourself, right? It's a good balance. Like with anything, right? You don't have to do this alone forever, but there's a good balance. Like have your activities with your friends and whoever, and also have activities for yourself. Maybe you already have a solid, you know, community, a solid friend group, relationships, dynamics, whatever. And so you have a plethora of people to go out with. Like that's perfect. That's fine. Also balance it with some alone time, right? Because you still want to be able to live alone. Because, you know, some people come to me recently and, you know, just shared like, oh, my friendships are changing. I'm losing connections or they're moving and my whole friend group dynamics are changing and it's lonely. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense, right? That sucks. That is lonely. Like there's no one left. And then it's like, well, what do you have left? Well, you still have the life that you created for yourself, right? When those people weren't there, like if you're solo living, right? And so that's why it's so important, you know, you have things to fall back to. Like if people move, if I don't know, you lose connections or things change and you just don't have anyone around to do things with for, you know, a good amount of time, the time being. I'm not talking about just a few days. I feel like hopefully like most people would be fine for a few days. But you know, even if it's just a couple weeks or like a month or more, you can live your life and do things on your own and still feel really good about them, right? There's nothing wrong with wanting to share those experiences with other people and connect, but you want to come from that type of energy. Like, I love my life so much. I feel so happy, and I want to share this with others. And then we have the Devil in reversed. It's just a gentle reminder. This is a major arcana, so gentler, big shift reminder. Break those old habits away. We can get really comfortable and stuck in our routines and habits, right? For example, let's say if you're a homebody, right? Like me, you get so comfortable being on that couch in front of that TV. Not that all homebodies are in front of the TV, but you know, you get really comfortable with whatever you're doing, right? This is my space. I don't have to go outside. You know, sometimes I find myself and I'm like, wow, did I go outside today? Nope. Oh, it's fine. And I can find myself like that for like 2 days or more, you know, let's be honest, more if possible. And, you know, sometimes that's fine, right? You might have those types of weekends or that type of week, maybe. Nothing wrong with that. But there is this importance of getting out of the routine. This is a stagnant energy. You want to move the energy around. If you find yourself, glued to like a square footage of your home all the time, just think like, is this supportive for me? Like, what type of energy do I want? What type of life do I want to live? I always tell myself like, oh, I want to be out in nature more. Oh, I want to see this more. And yet if I'm sitting around, doing nothing, which is more before I moved here than now, I feel like this place I'm in forces you to go out all the time. But if you find yourself in old habits, just do something different for once, break them. Like I said, if you're a homebody, go explore. If you're exploring all the time, if you're out and about everywhere and you can't catch a break and you're drained and stressed, you need to go the homebody route a little bit and, take some time for yourself, recharge, be by yourself, be in your own energy. For people that are constantly busy and filling up their schedules with connections and places and people, it's, that's great. And also, why are you filling it up so much? Like, there's those people that are really antsy, like they can't stop moving or, doing something. They can't sit still. It's like, that's important, right? You have to be able to sit with that, like, take a breath, breathe, just stare at something for 10 minutes. Why are you filling your time so much? Like, what is so wrong about sitting? And it's about, maybe you don't want to be in your thoughts, whatever it is. But whatever your usual habit is, whether you stay home or not, go out and explore a lot, just pay attention to the energies. Do I feel supported? Do I feel drained? And pivot, pay attention and be in your own energy so that you can compare and see like what people, situations, or things drain you. And you won't know that, right, until you are in your own energy and you can get comfortable in it. And we'll pull one last card. And we got the Hermit. Yes. So literally I just said this. The Hermit is all about that inner journey, self-reflection, solitude. So I'm guessing for most of you, then yes, it is more about, being on that self. It's like when you're a hermit, you can explore and wander the world, in your own energy by yourself and, wear those AirPods or do whatever you do to feel like you're in your own energy bubble, follow your intuition, follow those nudges of where you want to go. But also just being in your own energy in general. You don't have to, if you don't like being at home, if you're like, no, I can't be at home and be alone, then go outside and be alone. That's fine. Just be in your own energy. That's what it really is connecting with your own energy, being comfortable in your own energy, finding like peace and comfort and happiness in your own energy. That's the energy you want to be in. And once you feel so happy and comfortable and just at peace and like high frequency in your own energy, like that's when everything like shifts and changes, right? Like people can sense that energy. People will come to you. Like it'll be so easy for you to make connections, to make friends, wherever you go, and you'll find people that think like you, so that it's not out of desperation, right? Like when you meet all these people and friends like me, right? It's like I told you like in another podcast episode, it's like you can kind of sense, right, when someone hasn't had connections in a while or hasn't found the right people and they're desperate for that, attention, and you can feel that energy, right? It can be a little anxious or overbearing, and this is what it is you want to be secure in yourself so that you attract those people that are similar to you, and then you can trust that you are both so secure and happy in your lives, and that way when you come together, you can trust the connection, right? You can trust each other and you can trust that you're going to build it together because you guys want to, right? You don't want to be in the energy of needing someone. You want to be in the energy of wanting someone. We should never need anyone, right? And to be honest, I think it feels better to be wanted than needed, because it's like this person is so happy in their life. Like they don't need me at all. They have their friends, they have their connections, they have the life that they want to live. They're going and doing all these amazing things, and they still want to build time with me. Like that's what I want. Because it's like, that means I'm adding like extra to their life, right? It's like I'm like dessert or something. Like they are perfectly fine without me, but they are still choosing to prioritize and build something with me. And that means something, right? Well, that is it for today's episode. Thank you so much for taking the time to connect with me. Let me know what resonated for you, if there's any topics you'd like me to talk about. If you want to continue connecting with me, I invite you to subscribe and get notified when I release a new episode. You can also join my Siren Pod newsletter. And as always, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, sending you warm wishes and soothing hums.